Happy Monday to you. Happy Monday, everybody. How are you doing? How was your weekend? This is not wine, this is water, by the way, in case you were wondering. I know it's a gigantic bottle, but it's water. Yeah, just this topic, it hits so hard. I'm really chill because I did like a really intense meditation before this. Yeah, this is my really grounded, really like chill energy. It's good energy, but it's very chill. And this topic that we're going to be talking about it's one that I think everybody needs to hear. I came to realize this a long time ago, but it's come back to me as I'm going through some challenges myself. Yeah, let's see. Okay, so this live is called Let's Get Real, right? And if you're new to my live, welcome. My name is Alex with Bravery Life Coaching. I do life and health consulting or coaching, whatever. But I always get on here and I do lives on different topics. The whole purpose is to help people, just to connect with folks. Sometimes I don't have an agenda. Sometimes I just want to just shoot the shit with you guys and get to know you and things of that nature. But typically this is what I do. So I try to be mindful of everybody's time, and I really want to, even if it's like 5 people, I really want to deliver this message that I've been encouraged to deliver. And so welcome if you're new. I really appreciate your support. I really appreciate you tuning in and taking the time to be a part of this live. Hopefully you will enjoy it. And I just want to, if you're new also, by now you probably guess I do a lot of like, I don't know what to call them, what kind of messages. I don't think they're motivational messages. They're messages that come from the heart, and I just deliver them. So I don't know, maybe you guys can help me out with what inspiring messages, I don't know. But the whole reason I do is because I know there's a lot of people going through a lot of things in life. We all are, and I've been able to get through a lot of things. And these are just some of the tools, some of the things that have helped me a lot, this is a lot of the stuff that I also teach as a coach, as a life coach. So, there was one thing that before all of this, before I could be as happy as I am now, before I could be in the state of my life where I feel like I'm in control of my life or my emotions and I'm able to get through things, I had to get real with myself. And that's what this title is called, Get Real, right? Like I saw an old man today at my gym, and like super older guy, and I always see him, he's always working out there, and he came up to me, he's like, hey, do you mind if I work in with you? I said, no, not at all, sir. He's like, I'm not as in good shape as you are, but but I definitely would love to work out with you. I said, yeah, of course. I said to him, it's not about the shape you're in, it's about the fact that I always see you here every time I'm here early in the morning, and you're here. You're here and you're here for yourself, and I respect that, sir. So, when I was going through depression and anxiety and all this other stuff, and I felt like I was stuck in life, I wasn't really sure where things were going. I'm sure we all have felt that, or maybe are potentially in that state of our lives. I just had to get real with myself, and I said, you know what, like I don't want to live like this anymore. I'm tired. I'm done. I'm done with the excuses. I'm done with like putting it off. I'm done like saying, oh, tomorrow, oh, well, blaming other people and all this other stuff. And so whatever you want to do in your life, whatever it is, whether it's career, whether it is relationship, it doesn't fucking matter, okay? You have to get real with yourself. And that's why I'm delivering this message to you on a Monday, because it's the start of the week. Not that it really matters in retrospect, but get real with yourself. And I want to encourage you to get real with yourself, because that's what's going to take. When you make that conscious choice to say, you know what, I'm done living like this, but for reals, and I'm going to set some really, really concrete rules to myself, or concrete goals. And no matter what, like, I'm going to do this. This year is going to be different. Today is going to be different, no matter what. If you're willing to do that, I'm telling you, you will feel the shift. And that's what it takes. That's what it takes to be happy in life. That's what it takes to make changes. That's what it takes to achieve anything and everything you want. You have to learn how to handle and manage your thoughts, your brain, because you control your thoughts, you control your brain. And you have to get real with yourself and ignore the lazy, and ignore all the thoughts that are coming in that are telling you that you're not good enough, or that you can't do this and you can't do that, and you have to change it, right? And until you're willing to get serious with yourself, it doesn't matter what you do. You might find like some relief here and there, but it's always going to have that feeling is always going to keep coming back. So, I want to take a break there and allow for any comments or any questions that are around that, because I know that a lot of people have a lot of emotions when it comes to this topic, right? And I'm just curious, like, what is stopping you from living your best life today, right? What is stopping you from having the best day of your life? What is stopping you from being anything and everything you want to be and experience in this world? What is stopping you? I'm curious. So if you are open to sharing, I would love to hear your thoughts, and we can have a discussion about it. Because no matter what you find, no matter what it is, I promise you, right? There's an easy switch of thought, an easy switch of habit that can significantly change that perspective for you. And I'm happy to walk you through that process. So let me know if you want to share. If you don't want to share, that's totally fine. If you have other topics that you want to discuss, that you want to bring up, I'm open to those too. You have me for about 25 minutes, so I'm all yours. Let's hear. In the meantime, I'm going to play some music. So, yeah, I'll give it a few minutes, a few seconds actually, and then if no one wants to volunteer, that's totally fine. We'll just move on. Looks like no one wants to share. That's okay. No one? Nobody? Hello? Okay, cool. No one wants to share. Well, look. So the most popular question is, well, how do I do this, right? Like, most people say, okay, I have one here. Weight loss. Royd 7A says weight loss. Okay. So that is something that is very important to you, right, Royd? So why is losing weight so important for you? Is it from a health perspective? Is it from a society approval perspective? Is it for your self-esteem? Is it for all the above? Is it for, what is it? What's the reason that you want to lose weight? All of that. Okay. So you want to lose weight for all those reasons, which is interesting, right? Because if you look at for health reasons, that should be your number one priority. And I'm sure there is. Within all of those things, there's one of those that resonates the most with you. At least there should be. Or there should be something that resonates the most with you. And we're taking this example, and you'll see where this goes. But we all have something, right? So we'll take Royd's example where he wants to lose weight. So that is something that is very important to him. And he has chosen to pick that, right? He has chosen to say, I want to lose weight because it's going to make me feel better. My self-esteem is going to go up, and it's going to be healthier for me. and I feel like maybe people will look at me differently, or maybe accept me in a different way or whatever, right? So there's emotions attached to that change that you want to accomplish. But what's interesting is when people want to lose weight is because they obviously have weight, right? So they either were fit at one point and then they gain weight, or they were never fit. They just always have been a little overweight, and then they became a little more overweight, right? But there's always a reason why you want to achieve something that you're not, that you don't have. And that same feeling, right? The same feeling of wanting something that you don't have right now, it's pretty common with money, right? We always want, I want more money, or I want the house or the car or the clothes, or, the relationship or the career or the dog, whatever it is. There's always something that we constantly want, right? That we don't have. And typically when we take a look at that, right? Yes, it's a wing. When we take a look at that, there's feelings attached to that, right? So then the most important question is like, why is that important to me, right? So once you identify to one thing, get an understanding, okay, well, it's really important for me because I really feel like if I lose weight, not only am I going to be healthy, but I'm going to feel more confident. And that confidence is going to help me feel more confidence in my career. That confidence is going to help me feel more confident in relationships, or, maybe dating, or whatever it is. The confidence is going to elevate myself and everything in my life just by having more of that, right? So now you found a really detailed and targeted reason as to why you want to lose weight, right? And why it is important, and the feelings that come with that. So now that you have that, now is time to get serious with it. And now that you have these emotions and everything else, now the key thing is for you to envision like how would you feel when you do lose weight, right? And actually like think about that and feel like, oh, how would I feel like, and that's called manifesting, right? You start to manifest yourself and see yourself in the future, like how that would look like when you get to your goal that you want to get to on a fitness level, right? And when you do that, now you just made it in your mind, you gave it a picture, right? So you have feelings to it, you have strong reasons why you want to do it, you have a goal, and now you have sat there and envisioned yourself what it would look like and what it would feel like for you to reach that goal. So that helps you get more serious about it, right? Because there's more things attached to it. And when these excuses come, right? Because they're gonna come, these excuses, oh, I'm tired today. Oh, like the majority of weight loss is in the diet, I'm telling you, as a professional health trainer, right? So fitness trainer, it's a lot of it diet, and oh, I'm not supposed to eat this, but I'm gonna eat it anyways, I'll be fine. So if you're not serious with yourself, and you don't have those very, very clear and focused reasons as to why you want to do that, then when those thoughts come, you're gonna give in. And then what's going to happen, you're going to feel shitty about yourself, and then you're going to probably eat more or do other things that are going to feel that emotion of frustration or disappointment. And I see this happening a lot with people. And you can take that same thing with weight loss, with emotions, with relationships, with careers, with anything and everything in our lives, really. So that's why I say, like, you need to get real with yourself. That's why you need to say, no matter what, I know how important this is to me. This is so important that I'm going to be dedicated, and I'm going to devote myself to really accomplishing this for me first. Right? For me. Because if you're just so fixated on, well, I want to look good, that's so high level. Right? It's not deep. It's not deep within you. And when you're at the gym and you're sweating your ass off and you want to give up, you're going to remember that feeling that you envision, that manifestation. It's going to come to you. You're going to say, you know what? No, I'm going to keep going because I want to get to that goal. And that's how you get real with yourself, ladies and gentlemen. That's how you get real. And literally, we are able to change our lives if we can just practice more understanding of ourselves, if we can practice more discipline with ourselves, if we can practice more clarity as to why we want the things that we want, if we can practice more forgiveness of ourselves, we can practice more giving us and allowing opportunity for us to do things different every single day. But if we don't do that, if instead we're just talking shit to ourselves all the time, oh, I'm not good enough, or I can't do that, I'm not strong enough, I'm not this, I'm not that, I suck, I this, down, 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 down. Why? Why do that to yourself? Why, when you have probably already have had a lot of things that you've gone through in your life, a lot of people probably have hurt you. We all experience hurt, right? But one of my first tattoos that I got, it says, with pain comes strength. But that's a choice, right? That's a choice. You have to take the pain in which you have felt, that you have experienced, right? And elevate yourself. Don't stay there. Don't let the pain win. Don't let the pain just take you to the ground and then destroy you. If it takes you to the ground, get up. Get back up and do it for you. Learn from that. Heal yourself from that. Be kind to yourself from that. Right? And if we can adopt a few of these great tools that exist, such as, meditation, such as affirmations, such as intentions, and most importantly, just getting real with ourselves. Looking at yourself in the mirror and saying, I'm going to do this. Writing sticky notes. Something to motivate you, something that will give you that drive, right? To not quit on yourself. You will be surprised what you can do. You will be surprised. So, getting real with yourself, it's not going to be always easy, because maybe you've had we're creatures of habits, and you've had these habits that you've had for a long, long time, and they can be difficult to break, especially when we're doing it on our own. It takes a lot of self-discipline, it takes a lot of self-strength, a lot of self-bravery. More than most of the time, you're just facing your fears, right? And if the only way you're going to get through that, the only way you're going to be able to break through those bad habits, is by staying persistent and creating that, what I walked you guys through in the beginning. It's having an emotional attachment to your goals. Don't just get real deep with them. Get real deep with yourself. COVID is a lot of things have changing from COVID, at least here in the United States. And, travel is opening up around the world. Things are kind of going back to a new normal, if you will, right? And there's new opportunities. And during this time, during COVID, all of us have experienced so many different experiences, right? We have grown so much. We have gained so much perspective. We have learned so much about ourselves, right? But what are we going to do with that? What are we going to do with that? How are we gonna move forward with the rest of this year, with next year, right? So just something for you guys to think about. I'm gonna take a pause here to read these comments. I want to make sure that everybody is getting addressed. Alyssa says, that's why I do morning affirmations. Absolutely, Alyssa, you're so right on. I mean, they're so important. I do them all the time as well. They're super helpful. They do work. If you have not tried this tool, definitely try it out, because it can do wonders for you. So 100%. Tony says, hello, or how do I get my mind to stop thinking about what my ex is doing when she already moved on? That's an excellent question. Well, you see, Tony, the thing is, it's when people say, how do I get my mind, right? As if your mind has control. And what you need to understand first and foremost is that you control your mind, right? So the question would be, how do I get to stop thinking? And when you say you take responsibility for that thought, right? But when you say, oh, my mind, right? It's easy to say, well, I don't have control over it. And maybe it feels like that. But the reality is that you do have control over your mind. You just haven't learned on how to control your thoughts, it sounds like. Which a lot of people struggle through this, and especially when there's an emotion attached to it. Most of the thoughts that come and haunt people, or really people struggle with, are in connection with a feeling, the strong ones, right? Feeling of fear, feeling of insecurities, feeling of pain, feeling of different types, right? And that's why they are strong. They are strong, and we listen to them because there's an affirmation with that. Meaning, when we have been hurt, and thought comes that on a situation that maybe it's like, oh, maybe it's not what it seems like it is, but we want to think that it is. It's our pain that's coming in, right? So I want to answer your question, Tony. Sorry, I got sidetracked. What I would recommend is working on just letting go, brother. Working on just being at peace with the fact that things are over. And I know that can be tough, and it sounds like you probably really loved her. And when you have love and when things don't work out for whatever the details are, it can be tough. I can understand that. I've experienced that myself. But that's an opportunity for you to come into peace, right? She's moved on. And excuse me, and so should you. Get that peace within yourself. So the best thing to do is, when those thoughts come in, right, of whatever wonder it is that you have, is listening to that and understanding, like, why am I thinking about this? Well, because I miss her. Okay. Why do I miss her? Well, because I love her. Okay. I have all these feelings for her. But here's the reality of things. The reality of things is that we no longer are. What does that mean? That means pain. That hurts my heart. And if you need to cry it out, bro, cry it out, man. There's no shame in that. Let those emotions out, right? Just let it out. Let it out. And if it takes a whole day of doing it, whatever, just let them out. And then after you're done letting those emotions out, just say, you know what? I want to move on, and I give myself permission to move on. And every day I'm going to slowly heal from this. And I know that there's a person that's right for me out there. In the meantime, I'm going to continue to work on myself and focus on that. Shift the focus on her to you. To what did you learn from that experience? Don't focus on what she did wrong. What could you have done better? How can you elevate yourself? How can you better yourself so that you attract a better individual in the future, right? And just focus on feeling good with yourself, brother. That's the key, right? That is the key. So just, start. If you don't work out, go running when you're feeling anxious or whatever, and let those thoughts out. Let them out, and then bring in some constructive thinking, right? Some thinking that makes sense. That's something that you really, really want, but you have to want to move on, right? If you don't want to move on, then yeah, your minds are going to keep feeding you those thoughts. Does that make sense? So that's what I would recommend. And of course, that's a really high level, right? Some of these things can take a while, depending on the individual and depending on the amount of pain or your history with love, your relationship with love, your relationship with pain. We all have different relationships with these words: love, pain, right? Happiness. Everybody has a different relationship with those words, based on what they've experienced in their lives, based on what they believe those things are, and the feelings that are attached to those words, right? So that's what getting clear with those words and your relationship with those words is extremely important. I'm actually going to be doing a workshop. Not workshop, it's like a course where it's called Discovering You. And in this course, I'm going to teach people like how to find that, how to get real with themselves, how to identify the good habits and the bad habits, and how to break that, right? And how to bring in new, really healthy and really uplifting and better habits in your life, and identifying what matters to you. And why is it important to you, and why do you want that in your life, and most importantly, how to achieve it. So, and if this is something that you're interested, definitely let me know. I'm going to be announcing this next week, so you can, and the course will start in July. So but yeah, like it's a simple tool, right, that we just need to take the time to just say, hey, like, pardon my French here, but what the fuck am I doing with my life? What do I want? What do I want? We all want something in life. We all want all these things. There's a pool of things. Why? Why do I want that? Why do I have this relationship with love? Why do I have this relationship with myself? Why do I feel down all the time? Why do I feel like, all these negative thoughts? Like, understand them why, right? And then most importantly, do you want to change that? Do you want to live like this forever? I have clients, ladies and gentlemen, that they're in their 50s, 60s. Imagine that. They lived 60 years of their lives and they're like, I have everything and I realize that I don't know who the fuck I am. Do you want to be that person? No, I know you don't, right? So it's just because in their time, they didn't teach any of that. In our time, they don't teach that. No one, at least, you guys tell me, did you guys go to school and learn on how to take care of your mental health? No, none of us did. They don't teach it anywhere, and they should. They really, really should, but they don't, right? So that's why it's, especially after COVID or during COVID, mental health was bad. It went through the roof. People were struggling. The all-time highest divorce that we've ever seen, right? Because people were having to spend more time with each other, and now we're in a place where people are like, shit, I spent all this time this last couple of years with myself, and I don't know a lot about myself, and that makes me anxious. And now people have anxiety up the asshole. Sorry, I'm really vulgar this morning, I apologize. Now people have a lot of anxiety, right? And they have a lot of stress, and they have a lot of depression. I see a lot of this. And when we get down to it, I simplify it to all my clients how simple it is. And it's almost like a relief in their eyes, right? But sometimes it takes a little bit of time to get them there, right? But once I get them there, they're like, oh wow. So the next thing is just to get real with them, with yourself. And if you don't get real with yourself, it doesn't matter. You're going to continue to feel all those things. And that's just what it is. The universe is trying to tell you, hey, deal with this. Fix this. Pay attention to this. Change this. Why do you feel like shit? Ask yourself, why do I feel like shit? Well, I feel like this because X, Y, and Z. What are you going to do about it? Do you want to stay like this? If you don't resolve it, it's going to keep showing up. Over and over and over and over. It's what happens. And then you bottle it down, and then something else comes. And then that gets bottled down. And then something else. And then you feel like you're just breathing, like you can't breathe. You're just like, and that's anxiety. Anxiety is born, right? And our bodies is a vessel. Stress physically affects us, right? Because we store energy. We are energy. We are vibration. It's a fact, right? Within the universe. And if we don't know how to manage that, if we don't know how to manage our thoughts, right, it will affect our physiological body. It will affect us, right? So, Allison8167 says, we can be real with ourselves, but when the rest of society isn't is fake, it's not able to utilize. It's not about society. That's the thing you have to come to terms with yourself. It's not about society. It's not about your neighbor. It's not about fucking about nobody else but you. That's what it's really about, right? It's about coming to peace with yourself. Forget what the society, forget about everything else, forget what people say, and I know that's challenging, right? That's why there are people like me. That's why there are coaches that can coach you to change and rewiring your brain. But once you get real with yourself, it's just you and you. It's just you. Imagine you looking at yourself in the mirror. That's getting real. It's looking at you, nobody else, no other society, no other BS. It's just you with yourself. That's what it's about, right? So Contreras, I think, how's it going? It says, my thoughts are full of sin. What can I do? Well, sin, this means to me past, right? So you have a lot of regret maybe, or you have a lot of heaviness or things about your past. Now, do you still do those sins? Probably, I'm gonna guess not, but you tell me. Wait, let me see what he says. He says, if temptation is it's my only master, should I feel ashamed of having many women simultaneously? So there's a couple of things going on here. So first, you're talking about sin. Okay? So there's something associated with the word sin for you, right? So that you don't like. That's what you're asking me. What can I do since my thoughts are full of sin? Okay? So there's sins here that you have adopted. Whether it's things you've done in the past or things you currently think about the present. It's just things how you have that relationship with sin, right? Whether you're religious or not, it doesn't really matter. And then your second comment here is, if temptation is my only master, there is no master. I'm telling you right now, you are your own master. Temptation is just that. It's just a temptation. But you have a choice to take on those temptations. You are your own master of your thoughts, of everything, of your emotions and everything else. So you're asking if you should feel ashamed for having many women simultaneously. Ask yourself that. Where does that go in your moral bucket? Do you find that morally correct? What does that fulfill? Do you feel shitty about the situation? Do you feel like that's fair what you're doing? Do these women know? Are you playing with their emotions? Right? Is it because of lust? What? Understanding all of this. It's how you can liberate yourself from these feelings of unknown, or thinking that your thoughts are in charge, or you're thinking that you have no control of your life, which you do. But it's easier to blame, right? Temptations. It's easy to blame, these sins in my past. It's easy to do that. But is that constructive? No. So you have to get real with yourself. You have to look at yourself in the mirror and say, hey, do I really want to have multiple women at once? Do I feel like that's the right thing? And if the answer is no, then you got to get real with yourself and say, I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm not going to do that anymore. Why? Because I don't believe that's right, and I don't want to feel that guilt, right? And then understand yourself, in getting real with yourself. You know what? Today I'm going to cut it. I'm going to pick one that I want to just be with, and I'm going to do that. He says, I feel empowered every time I'm in BRD with them. I feel a male, but when I see my kids, my tear flow. I think I know what you're saying. So it's a power thing for you. So this tells me that you probably don't like to be alone. I'm just guessing here. You tell me if I'm wrong. But a lot of men and or women that have multiple folks, I don't know what to say, people, multiple relationships, is because they're trying, it feeds their ego, right? If it makes you feel like powerful, it makes you feel wanted. So you probably have some deep wounds from the past. Probably somebody hurt you, is my guess, and this is how you've been dealing with it. But it doesn't align with your morals, so that's why it's your conscience saying like, this is wrong, right? So I shouldn't be doing this, right? So that's what's going on there, is that you're not supposed to, you shouldn't be doing this, but because you haven't dealt with your pain, this is how you're handling that, because it makes you feel wanted. Does that sound right? Accurate? So that's, again, getting real with yourself, right? That's what a man really is, right? I'm not saying you're not, but I'm just speaking in general, right? If you want to feel empowered, if you want to feel like a man, then be one. And that's facing your fears. That means facing whatever it is that you've done in the past that's wrong, facing your pain. That it's okay. It's not less manly to cry. It's not less manly to feel pain, to feel hurt. That's human, right? But you are passing your pain on, brother, because you're gonna hurt these women, and it's not fair to them, right? So the pain that someone has done to you, you are not doing it to others. You're spreading the pain, and that is the worst thing you can do. So of course you're gonna feel like shit, right? Because it's not morally right. It's not in alignment with what what you're doing is wrong. So I just would really highly recommend that you think about it from that perspective, right? And again, get real with yourself. Get real with yourself, and I mean, make that decision, right? Are you going to continue to live like this? Are you going to continue to do these morally wrong things that you know are not good? Or are you going to make a change? As easy as that, brother. And don't give yourself excuses like, well, it's tough, and no. Just do it. Get real with yourself and say, you know what? I'm going to do this because I don't want to be this person. I don't want to live like this anymore. That would be my advice. I don't know if you're still here or maybe you left, but I hope that's helpful. Yeah, that would be my advice. So, how's any other questions or anything else? Anybody before I log off here? Royd says this has been refreshing. I'm so glad to hear that, man. I really, really am. That's why I do these lives, and I hope that that you can understand that I come from a place of just logic, right? And it's not rocket science. It's just perspective, and you don't have to agree with everything I say, but I ask that you just think about it. Just think about it and have an open mind, and just let that be a question that you think about for yourself. There's just, when you're alone with yourself, just think about that. There's nobody else judging you but yourself. There's nobody else that's gonna change your life but you. That's it. You can control you. Take responsibility for you. Stop pointing the fingers and worrying about other people and other things. Like, just focus on you being the best person you can be, and you will be surprised how your outside world starts to reflect. The law of attraction is a real thing, ladies and gentlemen. It really, really is. Another thing that I work on with my clients and that I teach is the law of attraction, and understanding that and how you can elevate yourself, right? But the only way to elevate yourself is by doing the work and getting real with yourself. I'm gonna keep saying that, right? So, yeah, I hope this was helpful. If there are any other questions, I'll give it a minute or so and allow anybody else to ask anything they wish to. But you can follow me on Instagram, on YouTube, all the lives that I do here, ladies and gentlemen, which I do one every single day at 11 Central Time, US time. Monday through Saturdays. I did not do one this Saturday. I don't think I did, and I apologize. I got busy, but I upload them, all of them, on my YouTube channel. So if you missed them, or if you had to go, or have to go, or whatever, or you want to see previous ones, go on to my YouTube channel, and you can find my YouTube channel in my profile. I have a Linktree link. You can link there. You can find my podcast. You can schedule a discovery call with me. You can go to my website. All my resources are all on my TikTok homepage. But yes, so I don't have an agenda. I don't have a schedule for like what topics I'm going to do each day. I do them intuitively. So whatever comes to me is the discussion that I usually talk about. It's very raw. It's very real. So yeah, if you find these helpful, if you find these inspiring, etc., insightful, then awesome. That's why I do. This is me giving to people. This is me giving to society and trying to help those who maybe you needed to hear this message today. But if you want to work with me, you can also find the source to do that on my page. Like I said, I am going to be doing a course, which I highly recommend it to all of you. That's going to get a lot more in depth into what we talked about. It's a 2-week course. So if you're interested in that, also shoot me a message. I need some coffee, and let me know. But I will be having a link in there in my Linktree where you can sign up for that. And if you refer to a friend, then you get a free 30-minute one-on-one consultation with me. So yeah, that's going to be coming out next week. I will be announcing that. So we have a few more comments here. It says Adriana 3.5 says, I need to go back to do exercise. TikTok is so addictive. Please small advice. Okay, so yes, TikTok can be addictive. I do my best not to do this number, the scrolling thing. I try to come here and to do the videos to help folks. And that's why my messages are very inspiring. And I hope that at some point you're like, oh, you know what? I'm going to get off TikTok and I'm going to do something for myself. But what I would recommend to you, Adriana, is start small, right? One little extra thing a day is what the word extraordinary. Without the word extra, it's just ordinary. So maybe you wake up tomorrow 30 minutes earlier and you go for a walk. And maybe the next day you wake up another 30 minutes earlier and now you go for a run. And maybe, the following day or whatever, take it at your pace, of course, and you go to the gym now, right? Whatever it is, but you have to do what we talked about. You have to get real with yourself. You have to find that reason that's like, why do you want to exercise? Are you going to do it because it's the thing to do? It's like, oh, I have to exercise. That's the wrong approach. You have to approach it from like, I want to exercise, right? Like, I want to exercise. And if you don't want something, you're not going to do it. If you have to, how many of us do things that we have to do, and we sometimes don't like it? A lot of people, right? When you put the word have to instead of want to, it changes even in our brains, right? Because of what we learned those words mean. They have certain associations with them, right? So if you can just say, I get to and I want to work out because I want to feel healthier and I want to, feel good, that's going to be a lot more different than, oh, I have to work out. I really have to, or I really should do this. No, I want to. Period. All right. And set a goal for yourself and say, okay, tomorrow I'm going to do it. I'm going to get up 30 minutes no matter what. Pick a song. Don't use some weird alarm. I usually use a song that inspires me to wake up. Use a song as your alarm and just do that for yourself. Just do it. As simple as that. Like Nike says, just do it. And practice that discipline with yourself. Allison's 8167 says, real is the only way that feels right. That is 100% right. I definitely agree with you, Allison. Is just do it for you. That's it. Don't. Now, for any other reason. It's just for yourself, okay? Adriana, thank you for your comments and thank you for participating. I will, if you like to, if you have any of you have any other questions or anything else like that, like I said, reach out to me. But if you want to work with me, set up a one-on-one, you can do so on my link. And yeah, that's all I got for today. So I hope everybody has an amazing rest of your day, an amazing start of your week, and we'll hopefully see you tomorrow. I'll be here live at 11 a.m. Central Time, US time. All right, everybody, have an amazing day. Stay motivated, stay true to yourself, and most importantly, be brave. All right, take care, everybody.